Okay, so it has been a while since I've sat on this beloved concrete sofa with obviously a pillow that I'm sat on. I have missed these little vlogs, but yes, my friend came for the last few days. You haven't been watching my recent videos, my friend came to stay with me in Portugal. Literally just my friend. It wasn't a girlfriend. It also wasn't. It's literally just a mate from school that came over, and he was at uni, and I've got this apartment in Porto, so who would say no to coming over for a few days? So yeah, I mean, just to kind of like come over and whatever. So yeah, he's been here, and obviously with that being said, my apartment is kind of open plan, so that's just reminded me I didn't do an apartment tour with my friend, so fuck. But anyway, yeah, my apartment's kind of open plan, so I can't. Yeah, it's open plan, so I can't like go into a room and just do this on my own unless I go in the bathroom, which is why I did it the other day in the bathroom, or the last 2 days or whatever. So yeah, but it's just the act of showing up, and I've shown up. I've showed up. So yeah, but anyway, as I said yesterday, I'm on this journey to 10k a month, right? And that's why I'm doing this series. And there's a lot of things that I kind of want to go over today. But the main principle being is something that I went over in the last thing. What's the point of making money, getting to this 10k a month mark and trying to build up your wealth for whatever reason that may be? Whether you want materialistic things, whether you want financial security, whether you want to provide for people. I won't get into that right now. I'll maybe get into it later in the video, but right now I'm just going to say, what's the point of working, achieving all these things, and aspiring to achieve all these goals, getting all this money, right, if you don't spend it every now and again to enjoy things, right? What's the point of making the money if you don't spend it to enjoy things? Like, you're just making money for the sake of making money. So yes, you can make the argument that I've been completely fucking slacking the last few days because my mate's been here, who was here for 4 nights, by the way. But there comes a time where, yes, people say you should be grinding the whole time, and I don't disagree, because there's seasons, I think there's seasons to which you should grind and there's seasons to which you shouldn't. It just depends on how you kind of like picture your life, rather than doing it in 7-day periods and you do a 5-day work week and then 2 days off. You could do like 3 months of grinding and then a month off, or 2 months off, kind of like there's seasons, right? Or maybe even on a longer time frame. In this current season of life, if I want what I want, I need to go hard at this age now to get where I want before I'm at an age where I want to have kids, I want to settle down, kind of thing. So I'm kind of going off track, but what's the point of making money if you don't spend that money to enjoy your life? So yes, I could be grinding and he could not come here, and I could have just grinded for an extra 4 days. But what's the point of making money if you don't spend your money? So he came over. It was fun. We went out. We did things in Porto. Just kind of explored. Went to bars and shit. It was good. I spent a lot more money than I wanted to, but then again, I'm 20 now. I'm not going to look back when I'm on my deathbed and say, "Fuck, I spent too much money when I was 20 in Porto." I'm probably thinking to myself, I didn't spend enough money, to be honest, at that point, because I'd do anything to get back to that age again. So that's why I kind of think, yes, you should grind at this age, but then again, there should be a balance of which you should be able to use that money that you spend and enjoy your younger years. And that goes with any time of your life. There shouldn't be a time in your life where you say to yourself, right, I'm not going to enjoy one thing about my life. I think if you're doing a job that if you're doing work that you enjoy, you shouldn't really think about it as work anyway. It should just be your life, and you should be happy regardless with that work, whatever it is you're doing. So yes, he came over, and yes, I've just started this series, and I started it about a week ago now. I think this is day 8, day 9, something. But and it looks as if I've just kind of started it and kind of like fallen off straight away. But then again, how many times in my life am I going to be sat here in Porto in an apartment on my own for a month, over a month in fact, I think it's more like 5 weeks, to which, yeah, at the age of 20 years old, with friends, with the opportunity to have friends and have a good time, you know? So there's 2 sides to the coin, and I enjoyed that time. I don't know why I'm really justifying myself having fun in my younger years, but it makes sense because I'm doing a series of 0 to 10K a month, and I'm not going to get to that goal if I don't put the time in. So anyway, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing glasses, I'm wearing glasses because these are blue light blocking glasses. I know that sounds really, really gay, but yeah, I just don't want to, I like having a good sleep schedule, and I also like sleeping well, and it helps me sleep well. So, and there's no downside to putting some glasses on past whatever time. So yeah, it might sound a bit gay, but who cares? But yeah, there's a few things I want to talk about today. I think first of all, I'm going to start by saying, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm going to start by saying that it's all good and well watching motivational videos and saying, right, I'm just going to do shit without whether I'm motivated to do it or not. Yes, there's discipline. Yes, you should do stuff without motivation. But like, if you don't have a clear goal, you don't have a clear path of what you want to do, then you're not going to want. There's no reason why you're putting in that work anyway, unless you make it an absolutely ingrained habit, right? Unless you make it a completely ingrained habit into your head, you're not going to keep up the momentum and consistency to keep doing. Sorry, I'm just reading what lock iPhone into a regime. I think it's recording. Fuck it. I think it's recording. I hope it's fucking recording. Yeah, you're not gonna keep doing stuff unless you have an actual reason as to why you're doing it. Unless you've built up a habit of just doing it anyway in the past. So, but it's easy to say that you need to just actually have a reason to get into that habit in the first place. So it kind of ties into it regardless. But I think if you want to get to where you want to get to, you first got to analyze why you want to get there. Because it's good and well saying, oh yeah, I want to get to 10K a month. But like, why the fuck do you want to get to 10K a month? Yes, you want money. But if you can actually nail down and put it very fucking specific and be like, right, I want 10K a month so I can provide for my family and they can have a good life. Or I want 10K a month so I can provide for my girlfriend and we can go on nice trips and we can live a freeing life and she doesn't have to work. Or I want money for a Lamborghini, right? So personally, I'm not materialistic. I've said this before. I'm literally wearing a Mountain Hardwear t-shirt that was probably about $10 from my trip in the US back in June. But yeah, I don't wear expensive clothes. I literally wear Timberland tracksuit bottoms that have holes in them still. But because I like them and they're comfy, I still wear them. So yeah, like then again, I'm not rich as fuck either. So I'm just saying I don't get any happiness from buying materialistic items, and I think once you get to a certain point in your life, you realize that as well. And I'm kind of happy because when I was doing my Fortnite stuff back in the day, I was making a good amount of money for my age. Like I was 16, making like 2, 3, 4, even $6,000 a month once. And I was like 16, 17, and I was like, okay, right, this is what rich people do. This is how I look cool. This is how I stand out. This is how I get attention. I'm going to buy off-white shoes. I'm going to buy Balenciaga shoes. I'm going to buy an off-white hoodie. Actually, I didn't buy an off-white hoodie. But I bought a load of fucking designer clothes and just because that was the done thing. And I thought that was cool. And I thought that would make me kind of stand out and I'd get attention. Be like, oh my God, what the fuck's Ollie doing? And that's what people have a lot later in life. They still think that exact same framework of, I'm going to buy this, it'll make me look rich, right? And you might be rich, you might not be rich. But regardless, people... I saw this somewhere. People look at the thing, but they don't kind of look at you wearing it. They imagine themselves wearing it, and then they get envious of the fact that you have it, and they think about how the fuck they're going to get to that point where they can then have that, because they don't give a fuck how that you're wearing them. Yeah, they might think, oh, they're pretty cool, but they don't actually give a fuck, to be honest. I think they think about how they're gonna own that, and that's where all the competition of the whole world stems from. Is people? This is why most people prey on your downfall to an extent, because they want what you have and they get jealous if you start succeeding. So people kind of prey on your downfall so that they can then be that person in that position, because they feel like you're kind of taking away from their success and like you're diminishing their success to an extent, which you're not, because there's so many people. There's like 7 billion people that you can sell your service or product to in the world, no matter what it is. But it's just ingrained in their head of just competition that you're diminishing their success. Like you're you're taking away any opportunity for them to make money. And because everyone loves making excuses, they then see that as a reason that they're not making money, and they can just use that as an excuse, and then they hate you, and then they're like, okay, this guy's failing. Oh shit, it's my time. Now I can make some more money, which they don't, but it makes them feel better because everyone likes stuff instantly. So yeah, that's my take on that. And yeah, I don't actually have notes for this. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. There's a few things that I wanted to talk about. I can't remember half of them, to be honest. But yeah, yeah. I was just having a chat, so just a call with my mate, and for like literally the last 4 hours, and yeah, he's basically made. He basically made 400k from 6 hours of work, and did the same again with 6 hours of work and got 150k, and the same again with about 6 hours of work, 12 hours of work, and made 10k, right? And I'm not going to tell you who it is, nor am I going to tell you what they did. I could tell you what they did, but I think it's crazy that people think of it as an overnight success, right? And yes, sometimes, and I understand why it looks that way, and some people could be an overnight success, but most of the time it's not. And you think of it as like, this guy, okay, he's worked 6 hours and he's got 400k, right? But when you look at it, he's not worked 6 hours. It's all of the time before that to get to the point where he's then been able to put 6 hours in to get 400k out. So your inputs will always like come out as a physical construct of what you put in, I think. But yeah, all of the work that he put in to kind of like learn how to make that 6 hours of time optimized and like get the most from it is all come before that. It's like, how do I explain this? You have a YouTube channel, right? And you upload, let's say 100 videos, and none of them take off. They get 100 views, 100 views, 100 views. And then you upload the 101st video and then they bang, right? It looks like an overnight success because it's one video and it's just banged, and now you've got 1 million subscribers. It's just easy numbers. You're not going to get 1 million subscribers from one video, most likely. But, well, I don't think anyone's ever done that on YouTube at least. But you don't look at all of the videos that you've made prior to that to make it look like an overnight success. The amount that you've learned, the amount that you've put in, the amount of failures you've had, the amount of failures you've come from doing to then learn what's come from that. And actually being able to not quit, first of all, and also look at the failures of which, like, I'm completely butchering this. Look at the positives that have come from all the failures, because it's so easy to fail. Everyone fails. If you don't fail, if you're successful and you don't fail at least once, you're a very lucky man. But most people fail more than once. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that I talk about isn't coming from my own mouth. It's coming from people who have gone through it and have kind of passed on information down. So I guess it could be perceived as naive, a lot of the stuff that I talk about. But then again, I've kind of seen both sides of the coin to an extent. So I do have some credibility to my name and what I say, and I know I'm kind of diminishing myself here, but yeah. So the fact that he was able to put 6 hours in and get 400k out is just the leverage that he had with the skills that he learned. And if you can put a shit ton of time into a specific skill, or multiple skills, but I'd recommend going one at a time, whether that be sales or whatever, the amount of like leverage and lucrative substance that comes from that is incredible. You've just got to put your time in and realize, okay, I'm not going to get the returns instantly, but if I learn this skill, I'm going to get them at some point. So I'm going to learn the skill, and then when I get there, I can then use them, and it'll just keep going up and up. Because most people nowadays, they want stuff quick and they want it easy. And that's why most things that you see marketed to yourself on Instagram or Twitter or on anything is marketed as quick and easy, because that's what gets the most sales. It's like, that's what everyone wants. That's why everyone doesn't get what they want out of life, because they're not willing to put the hard work in. And yeah, if you're willing to understand that your success won't come straight away, and it comes from a construct of work that you've put in prior and the skills that you've learnt on a specific thing. Once you've become an absolute master at that specific skill, whatever it may be, whether it be coding, whether it be whatever, you can then use that skill that you've made from coding, that you've gained from coding, or use that skill that you've gained from sales, and you can make a product with that coding, and that coding will then blow up, whatever that coding is you've made. You can then sell it as a digital product, zero inventory, just market it to as many people as possible. There's zero overhead. It's literally just the most leverageable product you can physically make, because you make it once and that's that, and you just promote it to everyone. And every sale you get, cool, you've made money. There's no kind of like revenue that you've got to pay out. Maybe there's some people who've got like a cut of what it is you've put together. Maybe it was 2 people working on it or whatever. You've got some people that you've got to pay. But on the whole, there's no overhead once the product is made. It's just marketing ads, like the ad spend. So there's that, and then there's also sales. So if you were to learn sales, you become an absolute fucking menace at sales. You know exactly how to handle any client ever, and you can completely twist their kind of thought process and be like, okay, you think this, cool. This is a solution. Why do you think this? Okay, what would you? Sorry. So what would make you? What would change your life in the next month, or what would change your life in the next year? Maybe 10K a month. Okay, how are you going to get to that 10K a month? I don't know. I'd grow my agency. And how do you want to grow your business? Well, I think it would be good to do this. And they've obviously come onto the call with you at a specific time, and come onto the call with you and said, because they're interested in the service you're offering, and they believe that you can provide them value and make them more money. So then you've got to market yourself and say, right, if you've come to me because I offer this service, and my service has this many testimonials, this many positive results, and why do you think that is? Because we provide value. Okay, cool. So, and then they acknowledge that, and they're like, okay, cool. And then you go to them and say, so what about this? And you kind of like say, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And then they're like, oh, okay, I've got an objection. You then handle the objection. It's just stuff like this. I'm completely going through a sales call construct. It was very vague. It was that was not good at all. That was literally just straight off the dome. But yeah, if you can become good at handling any objection that comes to you, you can have like a script framework that you're used to, or just learn a script framework for the exact product you're selling. Then you're gonna first of all, you're just gonna be quick. And I've got a friend. If he's watching this, I have a friend who's so quick at fucking handling objections. It is crazy, because the longer you take to handle an objection, when it's right in your face and you're like, shit, okay, the less trust they're gonna have for you, right? So if you can just get an objection and handle it straight away, the trust level goes up fucking incredibly high, like loads. So I could talk about this for ages, but if you can handle the bomb before it blows up in your face, right in your face, you can handle it before they even light the fuse of the bomb. You handle it, and they say, some people say this, or what's your main concerns, and they just kind of like have it, and you've already got it from previous calls. You're like, okay, if he replies this is what I'm going to say, or this kind of thing. And you just learn, and as you go on and on and on. And most of the objections are the same with any single sale. It's like things like, I need to speak to the wife, or I need to have a think about it. And you have an exact response to all of these objections, all of these possible rejections that come up. And once you've got them all in your head, ingrained in your head, and you know how to talk to people, you know how to have a smile on your face, you know how to let them ask you questions rather than you just talking down their throat the whole call, and let them just gain trust in you and just let them ask questions and just actually logically congregate it in their head, then, I mean, yeah, you can sell anything, right? So if you can just maximize your sales and maximize a skill there, you can make so much money, man. And you've just got to be willing to wait for the time to come later down the line and not make the money instantly. If you can just wait and just learn something and be happy that you're not going to get returns instantly, you're going to be ahead of most people, because they will just like jump from one opportunity to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, purely because they don't get their results instantly. So if you can just wait for your results, you're already in like the top 10%, top 1% of owners anyway. So as long as you've chosen the correct vehicle. If you've chosen a fucking shitty product that you're promoting that no one wants and has no demand and provides minimal value, then obviously you're doing it wrong. Or maybe you should actually change. But if you know it's something that people buy and you know it's something that's going to provide value to people and it's solving a problem that a lot of people have and are yet to solve, then you're gonna be doing well. So yeah, I feel like I've kind of completely gone off topic there, but yeah, that's kind of my take on that. And I think that is a problem that I have, because I kind of want things somewhat instantly, and because of that, I'm always procrastinating, saying like reading books or watching courses or watching YouTube videos on specific things, purely because I feel like I could be doing something that's more hands-on. And yes, I should be a lot of the time, but other times sorry boys, a lot of the times I think to myself that I'm going to get an important message on my phone, to which I always have my phone next to me, or I sit on my phone, and that's my excuse, even though it's bullshit. That's my excuse, that I just sit on my phone aimlessly and I just wait for a message to pop up, even though it never fucking happens. And I feel like you need to kind of mark out everything that's like in your face. And if you can mark out, okay, right, I only receive messages on Discord and WhatsApp. What's the worst that's going to happen if I only check Discord and WhatsApp once every, say, 3 hours? Which is, if they're like the main distractions, right? Not much. Person might have to wait 2 hours for a reply. Okay, what's the worst that's going to happen if they wait 2 hours for a reply? Most of the time, not much, right? Other times might be different, right? But most of the time, not much is going to happen. I think you've just got to eliminate distractions and just be able to actually get your head in the game, get your head down and work on exactly what it is you do. And as I say, use your time intentionally. Do one thing at a time. Don't be doing a bit of writing, phone, doing a bit of writing, phone, doing a bit of writing, Twitter. If you can just, I'm talking from my own failures here, and this is something that I'm by no means perfect at, but I'm just talking from my head. If you can just use your time intentionally, I've said it so many times, and do one thing at a time. First of all, you'll get rid of subconscious habits and stress, and copes with stress and boredom, because you'll just be working on a thing. And secondly, you're just going to get so much further because you're actually going to get done what you said you're going to get done. And I think the best way to do this is, rather than doing it aimlessly and being like, right, I'm just going to put my head down. If you can set a timer, this is why I got this egg timer thing. If you can just set a timer and you'll say, all right, I'm going to do this thing for the next 60 minutes. You're then going to be distractionless for 60 minutes. You see the things you're right? Okay. In 10 minutes, if you're that fucking dopamine needed or instant gratification needed, okay, 10 minutes I can check my fucking Instagram feed, right? But until those 10 minutes are up, I'm doing this task, which I know brings value to me, it brings value to the company I work for, it brings value to the company that I own, whatever it is. If you can just put that to the side, and the timer, and just work on what it is you're doing, as long as you know it's productive, there should be nothing else in your, and it's something that you know needs doing, there should be nothing else in your mind that's kind of like taking away from focusing on this thing, because it's going to have to get done at some point, so you may as well just do it now and then focus on the other stuff later, because most of the time you're not going to get a message that's absolutely mandatory while you're working. So instead of having just distractions all the time, I think it's good to just focus on one specific thing. And that's also why I think I'm kind of introverted. Well, I am very introverted, although I might not seem it, because I'm very kind of outgoing. I'm good at talking. I'm good at I've got a pretty charismatic persona, but I don't really like talking to people while I'm working. I just kind of like getting my head down and doing stuff. So yeah, I'm very kind of introverted in that regard, and I'm talking from my own just experience here, but I like to just call intentionally. I would like to, rather than just sitting in a call all day, which I don't like doing, because I don't like talking to people unless I actually have to talk to people, because I'm weird like that. I would like to maybe book in a meeting at a specific time and go over everything that needs to be talked about in that period of time. And then the rest of the time, as long as I'm being productive, who cares? And I'm just actually working on exactly what it is I'm doing. As long as it's productive, everyone's happy, right? So yeah, that's just kind of my take. I don't like talking to people unless I really have to talk to people. I like being in my own space. I don't know why I'm weird like that, but that's just me. I just like being alone. It's weird. I mean, I'm literally in a country with no one that I know well. Well, yeah, I don't know anyone in this country apart from the people that work in my local bakery, for example. And I go in every day, they like start talking to me in English whenever I walk in. But yeah, like I don't like talking to people really. Well, I do like talking to people, but I don't like talking to people. I like being on my own a lot. I know it's weird. I'm literally, as I say, I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I'm literally in a country, like thousands of miles from my hometown, with no one that I know personally within like over 1,000 miles of this vicinity. No one. So I'm weird like that, but that's just what I'm like, man. So as long as I'm being productive in that time, cool. But again, I feel like I'm talking too much here. But again, this is just eventing time for my my kind of serious thing. It's not a concise YouTube video. So yeah. As for things in work in general, I mean, I'll talk about that anyway. I feel like I get too tied up in like feeling like there's more to do, and it's less simple than it actually is. Because we've got to the point now where it's literally just outreach of this specific endeavor. It's like, what's going to bring the most ROI to my time right now is simply just outreaching to people. But, big but. To do that, you want to optimize the back end to an extent as best you can. You don't want to be an absolute perfectionist in which you put off doing outreach for months, but the current site doesn't have too much stating influencer marketing, and that's what we're outreaching for. I don't know, I'm talking about this stuff, but yeah, you need that on the site if you're doing outreach. And yeah, you just want to somewhat optimize as best you can. So there's that, but then again, the most ROI things I can do is maybe sort out the website, which is basically done already. We just need to come to a decision on that. Have a VSL edited, possibly, and re-record it because it was fucked before. I need to do it again. And outreach. It's simple. Those three things. There's nothing else that I should be worried about doing. Yet I feel like, I should be doing this, and it just diminishes my productivity all the time, and I don't do anything because I'm like thinking in 3 different headspaces. So, more than that. So if I can just use my time intentionally and be like, right, I'm going to set aside this much time to do outreach today for influencer marketing, this much time to do outreach for translations, whatever, and then this much time to do this thing, this much time to do this thing, you're going to be so much productive. And then when you have the free time out of that, you're going to be like, okay, I've done this much. What else can I do today? I can do a bit of this. I can do a bit of this. And you feel no regret and no stress doing those things because you've already done the amount of work for the thing prior. And it kind of leads back to the same idea of anxiety that I spoke about the other day is if you do what you know you've got to do, your anxiety levels drop incredibly low, like incredibly, because rather than just kind of like leaving them set aside in your head, you're actually taking them on head on, and you realize, okay, this is the problem, this is what I've done to solve it, this is the other problem, this is what I've done to solve it, and you kind of like realize what the things like that you're worried about. You realize that you're doing the best you can to get rid of those things, and then you're like, okay, well, right, so what am I worried about? Okay, cool. Maybe you don't have enough money, right? Maybe you don't have enough money, so you're worried that you need more money, so then therefore you kind of think around things a lot. And you're like, okay, maybe I should do this, because you want instant returns. And that's the kind of problem that I have, is I want instant returns a lot because the money goes up and down, it fluctuates a lot. So, what you can do. So, yeah, you want to get your head down and do stuff intentionally. I think that is the key thing, just you do things intentionally, use your time intentionally. It helps in so many means. But, yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't know if anyone else has but if you want returns quick because you're in a situation where you need to and you need it, then um, I think it's hard to actually focus on a task because you don't know if it's the best ROI of your time right at that moment. But then again, you're young, so someone looking back in hindsight when they're older and they've got money in their bank account, they've got money to spend, and they've got savings, whatever, they think to themselves, okay, what I should have done at a younger age is maybe read books or maybe learn more on this skill or maybe done more with this. But you don't do this at that age because you need returns there and then. So you kind of forget all of that stuff, and I understand why you would do that. You forget all of that stuff because a lot of it, admittedly, is mental masturbation, it's just procrastination some of the time from actually doing the work that you need to do. And yeah, but when you know you need returns instantly, it's quite hard to do anything but work, or at least tell yourself that you need to do work. And people will then have those coping mechanisms of dealing with that fact that they need to make money, and they then find a way to help them distract them and forget about that, which is your stuff like YouTube, Netflix, sports, social media, whatever. And I'm speaking from experience again because I have this problem. So I'm literally just talking from my own head, but I feel like a lot of people have the same problem. So I'm just being dead straight. But then if you want to find a solution to a problem, you write down what the problem is on a piece of paper, or if you want to on Notion or notes or whatever. And then you realize, okay, what can I do to mitigate this problem and sort this problem out? I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then when you do those things, you're not going to feel as bad about yourself because you're doing things that are helping you accomplish that goal or get you closer to that goal. And you shouldn't feel as much regret doing them because you're doing things that actually help you out, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. I know it might be hard for some others to comprehend purely because they're not in the position of that and they haven't experienced feeling like they need to do other things or feeling like they need to do more. But yeah, I think a lot of my problem is the fact that I feel like I should be doing one thing and then I should be doing the other thing and this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing because I need instant returns. So then I don't read books. I use social media to forget about the problems that I have. And that's why I can speak of it so highly and with so much confidence because I've had that problem for a long time. But yeah, you can use social media and stuff as an escape and to forget about stuff. And you don't journal, you don't read books, you don't watch courses or seminars on YouTube or whatever intentionally. You just kind of aimlessly scroll for hours on end because it helps you forget about the problem that you have, and then you don't have to do the work that you know you need to do because you've somewhat forgotten about it. So it leads back to the Alex Hormozy thing that I retweeted the other day. God, I'm getting deep here. Please just like retweeted the other day, which was people spend their entire lives in passive discomfort, avoiding 36 months of active discomfort to get what they really want. So yeah, passive discomfort is scrolling, and that's exactly what I do. So instead of that, I need to actually formulate a plan, formulate what's going to get rid of this problem and take action on it. Simple as that. And I think a lot of people can take notes on that. So I don't think there's much more that I need to talk about today. It's just simply the fact that I've got this goal that I need to get to, which is 10K a month. And if you don't put the work in, you're not going to get results, right? So yeah. Just what was it going to do? I was doing something on purpose, but I forgot what I was doing now. Whatever I was doing, I can't remember what I was doing. But yeah, I don't think there's much more I need to talk about other than the fact that yeah, it's day 8, I believe. Is it day 8? Why did that video get 9 views? I'm just sat there with my shirt off. That is the gayest thumbnail I've ever seen. I need to retake that thumbnail, I think. Yeah, that thumbnail's getting retaken, mate. I can't have that on my profile. But yeah, it is day 9. It's day 9. So day 9, how much progress have I made in the last 9 days? I'll be dead straight with you, not a lot. Yes, it is a problem. Yes, I'm not in the trenches. I need to be in the trenches. I'm making a lot of excuses. I'm beating around the bush a lot. But doing this series holds me accountable, makes me realise how fucked I am, and how much time I'm wasting, and how much time I take for granted as well. Because so many people would love to be in the position I'm in, regardless of how big I think my problems are. So, yeah, there was a quote I put on my Instagram story like yesterday or something. Well, my close friends one. I can't remember what it was. It was like a Seneca quote or something. And it's not that we don't have enough time, it's that we waste so much of it. I think it was something like that. So yeah, I waste a lot of time. I mean, 16 hours in a day. How many times have you actually put your head down and be like, and put your head down for 2 hours? How much work have you got done in that 2 hours? Probably a lot of work. And if you look at it in the regards of the whole day, that's only 2 hours of your day. You've still got 14 hours on top of that. And I'm not saying you have to work every single hour of the day until you go to sleep. But if you were to do that, imagine how much further ahead you would get. So I'll leave it on that. 10K a month. It's not an easy goal, but it's a doable goal because I've done it. I've got close. Well, not close. Well, kind of close in the past, and I did it at a younger age, so it's possible now. And if other people are doing it, why can't I do it? It's just a series of skills and application. So, yeah. I'm not working hard enough to get to that goal at all right now. I know people say work hard, work smart, whatever, but you've got to work hard at some point, and that point is right now because I'm in the season of working hard. I don't have the capital to work smart and just leverage everything. So, yeah, it's a season of working hard and getting my head down, and as I say, using my time intentionally. Simple as that. Literally as simple as that. So I'll leave it on that. 0 to 10K a month. Needs a lot more work putting in, and I need a lot more kind of direction mentally of what it is I'm doing. And once I've got that direction and purpose of what it is I'm doing, am I still recording? Yeah, I am. Okay. Once I've got the direction and purpose of what it is I'm doing, I feel like I'm going to be so much more motivated to get up in the morning and be like, right, fuck, okay, if I do this today, cool. I'm doing 100 outreach. If I close 1% of that, that's 1. If the retain is this, then I'm getting this much. Okay, cool. And then I've made that much in a day. I do it again the next day. I've made that much in a day. I do it again the next day. I made that much in a day. And you realize what the averages are? Okay, oh shit, okay. If I wake up, I get this shit done, I'm making this much every single day. Cool. So that's how I'm going to kind of do it at the moment. And also just have a key kind of motivation in mind. I'm like, okay, shit, if I do this, if I did this work, this is the outcome that I'm going to get. And the more I do it, the more it's going to snowball. So it's simple as that. I just need clarity with the payment and clarity with what the fuck? What the fuck is that? Anyway, I need clarity with that, and yeah, once you've got clarity of what it is I'm doing, what it is that's bringing the most ROI, so return on investment with my time, and a structure of which I'm going to get paid, and you realize what the averages are of the amount of work that you put in and what the outcome of that is, then I don't think you really need motivation. You just simply need the stats and the facts. And once you know the facts and the stats and the facts, then it's game time. So that's my take. And yeah, I'll leave you on that. Leave on that note. I'm going to go away, write down exactly what it is that I'm going to do with my time, like the most ROI things that I can do, and write down, yeah, what I'm going to do with what are the most ROI things I can do with my time. Then dedicate a certain amount of time to that each day. And do that. Make sure I do that at a bare minimum, and then go from there. So yeah, if you're watching this, I do have some news. Finally, yeah. So in regards to getting my head down and getting to this 10K a month milestone, my dad's coming tomorrow. So at 1 p.m., 2 p.m. tomorrow, he will arrive at my apartment. So is it going to be as easy to get my head down? No, not at all. But can I use my time intentionally when I have that time? Yes, of course. But then again, I don't want to forget about my dad. So he's got work that he's got to do as well. So in that time period, I've got to actually go ham, do exactly what I need to do in that time frame. So it's simple as that, man. Because again, as I said at the start of the video, what's the point of making money if you can't then spend that money? And there's times where you should be working, and obviously, but you don't want to forget about your family. And if I'm with my dad in Portugal, and first of all, I'm lucky enough to have a dad. Second of all, I'm lucky enough to have a dad that's in contact with me. And I'm just lucky. I'm lucky enough to have a family, right? You don't want to forget about that. So if I got a deck of cards like 2 days ago. I might play cards with him, or I might have a deep chat with him, or I might do whatever it is I'm doing with him. Those are the kind of memories that you're not going to forget when you're an old man on your deathbed. Whereas you're going to forget about the extra 2 hours of work that you could have put in, you know. So to the absolute hatred that I might get from my colleagues for that, I think they might understand as well. But yeah, I'm not going to get to 10K a month if I keep making excuses and keep wasting the time that I have. So there's a balance. There is a balance, and yeah, if I'm wasting the time that I have, then yeah, I'm not going to get to this goal, and it's just going to be a series that lasts until I'm 80 years old. But once I learn leverage and also apply myself in the time that I have, I think we can get there. And also don't forget about the memories that can be made in the time that when you have them, and don't forget about them just to do an extra hour's work, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna remember that hour's work when you're on your deathbed, but you are gonna remember not spending an extra hour with your dad when you were 20 years old in Portugal, and he's come out to see you. So, you know, there's two sides to the coin, as I say, and it's just got very, very deep very quick. But I know I'm just grateful that I have him, and yeah, I think I said this in a thing the other day, in my thing, my last long one. But I watched this film called Soul, and I wrote a newsletter on it, so that will be that's on my blog page. You can check it in the description. Basically, it opened my eyes, and it just made me a lot more grateful of a lot of things. And I do kind of feel bad because I don't show my dad and my family how grateful I actually am. But yeah, I feel like it seems like I take a lot for granted because I don't show too much gratitude at the time. I mean, I do, but not as much as I would like, right? So yeah, I don't want to forget about the moments that I have with my dad. And I also wrote a blog a while back. I think it might still be on my blog page, or it might have been on my website, and I never uploaded it. But it was basically about family time and how you spend like 95% of the time that you have in your whole entire life with your parents until the age of 18. And then once you hit the age of 18, most people go to uni, or they take a gap year, or they go away, or they move out, whatever. And they then spend little to no time with their parents. And if you see them like a week or 3 weeks every year, that's something crazy. Like, you're only going to see them for one more year in your entire life, or if that, you're only going to see them for 100. If you see them, like, let's say 3 days a year, even that, like, some people do that, some people do even less than that. But 3 days a year, that's what? 3 days a year, that's every let's say 60 years, you're going to be seeing them 180 times. So 180 times for the rest of your life, 180 days left with your parents for the rest of your life, thinking about you've got 365 days every year. It just puts it into perspective that you don't actually have that much time with your parents. So the time that you do have with your parents, you should enjoy it as best you can, rather than checking your phone all the time, or kind of forgetting that they're there, and not being thankful for the time that they're there, or getting angry at them about things that you shouldn't really get angry at them about because they're trying their best and they want the best for you. I understand in the moment it feels like the right thing to do, but in hindsight, you look back and it's like, okay, that's just their perspective and they didn't see it from the same way as I did. Why am I getting angry at them? We can just kind of sort it out. So, yeah, you've got to appreciate the time that you have with your parents, because when I read that article, that I saw it in a YouTube video and then I wrote a blog on it like 2 years ago now, but it really opened my eyes and I was like, okay, shit, I need to appreciate my family a lot more than I do. So, yeah, I'm not trying to forget about the time that I have here. And although I don't know my colleagues are watching this, if you are, thank you for watching this all the way through. Although they're not going to be happy that maybe I'm not spending as much time as I could be on certain things, it's only for a few days, and how many times are you going to have moments like this with your dad, you know? So, yeah, my mum's coming out a week after, but I have a week to grind hard in between those two. But yeah, you've got to appreciate the moments you have. Otherwise, you're going to sit on your deathbed and regret. So I'll leave it on that. I don't think there's much more I need to say. If you want to check out the blog, I believe it's still on my Medium page. I will. You can check that out in my description. I'm just going to check it's still on there. I think it should be. Because I had a personal website and I had all my blogs on there, and then I stopped paying for the website because it was like 150 quid a year. So it must be on it. Yeah, Family Time. It's literally the third blog that I posted on my Medium. I'll link it in the top of the description so you can check it out there. But basically, yes, it's actually pretty long. It's a 5-minute read. So if you have 5 minutes, I would appreciate you checking out that blog post I puts it all into perspective about your parents and time you spend with family. But anyway, forget about that. If I want to get to 10k a month, I need to put the fucking hard work in. It's not just going to come to my doorstep. No one's coming to fucking save me. So get your head down. Do the things that are the best return on investment with your time, and stick to that. And if you can stick to that consistently and build a habit from it, and also know the outcome of which your time is then going to bring to you, you're going to keep doing it on and on and on. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back again tomorrow, but my dad will be here, so don't expect the best video. This is why I've made this one extra in-depth and extra long. If you've watched this the whole 47 minutes as of right now, I appreciate it. Excuse the Harry Potter glasses. I know I'm wearing Harry Potter glasses. I don't usually wear these, I just wear these at night. But anyway, yeah. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter, I would appreciate it. I'm posting every single Sunday at 4 p.m. So do that in the description. But on that note, check out the blog. It's in the description. On that note, thank you for watching. Sorry for blabbing on for so long. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow night. And once my dad's gone, I have a week to just absolutely get my head down. And I will give these videos a proper go, as well as knowing exactly what I'm doing with my time. And yeah, just putting my all into those things really, and also recording these videos at the end of the day. So on that note, I don't think there's much more I need to say. I've probably said it on that note more than 5 times, but anyway, thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll put another video up tomorrow night, but it will be with my dad again, so don't expect too much. Anyway, lots of love. Thank you for watching. If you've watched the 48 minutes, appreciate you, and yeah, cheers.